OpenAI's confidential S-1 filing on June 8 marks the moment the AI boom transitions from private speculation to public market scrutiny, forcing the company to disclose actual economics previously hidden behind venture funding rounds. The $730 to $850 billion valuation and potential $1 trillion upside reflects investor confidence in AI's revenue trajectory. Yet the company's $1.22 loss per dollar earned operating model suggests profitability remains years away, despite exponential revenue growth. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley's leadership indicates traditional finance's full embrace of AI valuations, with a potential $60+ billion raise positioning OpenAI as one of the largest IPOs in history. The filing coincides with SpaceX and Anthropic preparing simultaneous late 2026 listings, creating unprecedented IPO pipeline valued at $3.6 trillion, where AI infrastructure companies dominate capital markets. Success or failure of these listings will determine whether frontier AI economics can justify valuations or face significant compression upon public disclosure. Fervoret's 15% efficiency improvement using subcooled boiling represents a critical breakthrough for data center operators facing simultaneous electricity, water, and space constraints as AI workloads surge. The nuclear reactor-inspired cooling approach eliminates water dependency entirely while allowing chips to run hotter and faster, directly addressing two critical bottlenecks preventing unrestricted data center expansion. Early deployments with major operators like Switch signal rapid commercialization, suggesting waterless cooling could become standard for new AI infrastructure within 24 months. The technology enables longer sustained high-performance operation, potentially reducing total AI training time and ownership costs despite higher upfront cooling system investment. As data centers are projected to consume 9 to 17% of U.S. electricity by decade's end, Fervoret's efficiency gains become essential enabler for sustainable AI scaling at scale. IQM's SEC clearance on June 10 signals quantum computing's transition from laboratory prototypes toward commercial infrastructure ownership, enabling enterprises to purchase and operate quantum systems directly rather than renting cloud access. The $1.8 billion pre-money valuation and $465 million post-merger cash position IQM to dramatically accelerate full-stack quantum system deployment, with immediate capital available for chip fabrication and customer support infrastructure. IQM's customer list Euro, including top supercomputing centers and multinational corporations Euro, validates that organizations are ready to purchase quantum hardware as operational necessity rather than research experiment. The June 25 shareholder vote clears final regulatory hurdle for NASDAQ listing under ticker IQMX, potentially triggering cascade of quantum IPOs as other hardware platforms rush to public markets. IQM's first-mover advantage as European quantum company on NASDAQ establishes the template for technology infrastructure companies seeking direct customer control and ownership economics over cloud API models. QuantumX Labs and IQCC's partnership represents a strategic convergence where advanced AI transformer models tackle quantum computing's most intractable problem: maintaining qubit coherence long enough to complete meaningful calculations. Rather than building classical error correction systems, the collaboration uses deep learning to dynamically adapt error correction to real quantum noise patterns, potentially achieving superior performance compared to hand-designed algorithms. Deploying AI decoders on actual quantum hardware via OPX1000 controllers moves validation beyond simulation environments, where assumptions about noise profiles rarely match physical reality. Success in this collaboration could unlock new quantum computing economic viability by improving error rates sufficiently that current-generation hardware executes longer, more complex algorithms. The project embodies 2026 industry consolidation, where quantum, AI, and traditional HPC teams converge around shared infrastructure challenges rather than pursuing isolated technology advancement. China is preparing a $295 billion state-backed AI data center network over 5 years, operated by state telecom giants with strict domestic technology sourcing requirements that exclude U.S. chipmakers like NVIDIA and AMD. The initiative represents fundamental geopolitical decoupling, where China builds AI infrastructure independence from Western control, creating bifurcated global AI ecosystems with distinct supply chains. By mandating 80% domestic component sourcing, Beijing accelerates adoption of Chinese alternatives including Huawei chips and domestic GPU manufacturers, while simultaneously reducing reliance on U.S. export controls. The centralized, state-operated model contrasts sharply with U.S. hyperscaler competition for private data center capacity, creating two competing visions for who should control AI infrastructure governance. While $295 billion is substantial, the figure reflects public sector only and excludes private Alibaba and Tencent investments, suggesting total Chinese AI infrastructure spending may rival or exceed U.S. hyperscaler commitments once fully disclosed. GPT-4o dropped from 91% accuracy on 5-word lists to 15% accuracy on 40-word lists in the Stroop attention task, revealing transformer models struggle to maintain focus against competing information. The dramatic accuracy collapse as task complexity increases exposes a fundamental divergence between human and AI cognitive capabilities. Humans maintain stable performance across longer sequences by consciously suppressing automatic patterns, while transformers lose coherence as information volume grows. Researchers concluded the flaw stems from architectural constraints inherent to transformer designs, suggesting no simple algorithmic fix exists short of fundamental model redesign. The finding has profound implications for AI safety and reliability in real-world contexts, requiring sustained attention across complex information streams. While newer models like GPT-5 can bypass this through code execution workarounds, doing so sidesteps rather than solves the underlying architectural limitation. Google positioned Gemini at the center of the 2026 FIFA World Cup kicking off June 11th, with live scores pinned to phone lock screens, AI-generated match visuals, and photo templates dropping fans into their team's jersey. The tournament provides Gemini's largest consumer showcase, reaching billions across every demographic and every market Google targets, from U.S. home audiences to Spanish and Portuguese-speaking populations where budget Android phones dominate. By partnering with national teams including Argentina, France, and USA, Google embedded Gemini into official team infrastructure and fan experiences, creating product engagement at scale impossible in traditional marketing. The coordinated rollout across Search, Maps, Waze, and native Gemini app demonstrates AI as integral platform layer rather than standalone chatbot, positioning AI as utility embedded in daily consumption. This mass-market deployment converts abstract AI capabilities into concrete, relatable experiences: Euro match briefings, tactical analysis, personalized photography Euro that normalize AI integration for billions simultaneously. Key Factors Trust Control Plane addresses a critical blind spot in enterprise security. The exponential proliferation of machine identities, APIs, databases, microservices, containers, IoT devices, now vastly outnumbers human user accounts, yet receives fraction of identity management attention. Traditional identity platforms built for human users collapse under the operational burden of managing tens of millions of cryptographic keys and certificates distributed across cloud regions, on-premises data centers, and edge infrastructure. The unified control plane enables organizations to inventory machine identities, audit certificate validity, automate rotation, and enforce consistency across hybrid environments previously fragmented across incompatible tools. Post-quantum migration capability becomes critical as organizations face regulatory timelines, China, EU, US, to transition away from RSA encryption before potential quantum computers threaten archived ciphertexts. Early enterprise adoption suggests machine identity management will become major security category within 2 years, with key factor positioned as platform provider, similarly to how Okta and Ping dominate human identity. Palantir's CEO Alex Karp's warning against AI-driven mass layoffs introduces critical stakeholder voice into startup culture, challenging the purely efficiency maximization calculus dominating technology leadership conversations. The CEO argues that short-term cost reductions through AI workforce elimination undermine long-term competitive advantage, as organizations that aggressively automate job elimination risk losing the creative workforce and institutional knowledge essential for next-generation innovation. Karp's perspective introduces nuance into AI adoption, acknowledging efficiency gains while questioning whether pure cost optimization maximizes shareholder value when accounting for hidden costs of talent depletion. The statement gains traction because it challenges venture capital and founder incentives that reward headcount reduction and margin expansion regardless of downstream organizational health. Organizations heeding Karp's warning face pressure to balance AI productivity gains against workforce stability, suggesting AI adoption timelines may moderate as boards and employees demand sustainable transition models rather than shock and awe layoff strategies. Thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more content, and stay updated with the latest technology news.